There have been some wild things happening in the world of women's basketball, but guess who is making the most news today? Caitlin Clark, the league's best player. Yes, you heard correctly, Caitlin Clark. ESPN just dropped a bombshell about Caitlin Clark's new European contract, but it appears that she has decided to leave the WNBA for a bigger challenge in Europe. People, especially ESPN commentators, have not stopped talking about it, but before you ask why she had to leave like that, we'll explain it for you in this video. As everyone knows, Caitlin has been doing her thing, holding the league down like it was her playground, with the fans and even the haters glued to every move she made on the court.
Her basketball IQ, her court vision, you just can't say enough about it.
Catch is this: while Caitlin was training and outperforming all other female basketball players, the league was simply allowing her to get worse. I mean, she was elbowed, pushed, and failed by the referees, and nobody was speaking out about it. She even said it herself. "I feel like I'm getting hammered. Everyone is being too physical with me, and opponents get away with things." You would think that the league would do everything in their power to shield their beloved superstar from the vicious beatings she endures on the court, but instead they would prefer to watch her get punched left and right. Now the big news is coming like a dirty whack across their faces. But let's talk about the Wonder Girl for a moment. That's crazy for a 22-year-old woman, and we're talking about a player who is a true game changer. I don't know about you.
And now Clark comes up with a steal. Clark thought about pulling up from three, will tip inside and lay it in.
After Caitlin put in so much work during the season, she won Rookie of the Year. She decided to take some much-needed time off. You know, everyone deserves a break after hitting numbers like she did. She entered the league as she owned it, shooting from long range, dropping dime like it's a piece of cake, and adding a whole new vibe to the league. You hear many fans making heartfelt remarks that they only tuned in to watch the WNBA to watch CC.
Caitlin Clark was named WNBA Rookie of the Year yesterday, as announced by the league office. Clark received 67 of 60.
She went to Europe to enjoy the fresh air, play golf, and live her best life, but many fans and the media speculated that this trip might actually be a low-key business trip, because there were rumors going around that European teams were trying very hard to sign her and get her on their roster. Now you may be asking why Europe isn't a world-class league like the WNBA, and you're right, the WNBA is top tier, but European basketball is a completely different ballgame. They are far ahead of the WNBA. Let alone the salary. European clubs are throwing out contracts that would make you double take. We're talking six figures, y'all. They roll out the red carpet when they spot rare talents, especially somebody like Caitlin, who has that superstar written all over her. This is the kind of decision that sets you up for wealth for life. Forget the money. Now Europe has some real hoopers too. Speaking of the likes of Andalova, Gabriella, and Anderson Yevon, the competition out there is serious. They just have their way of pulling the crowd. The arenas are always packed, the atmosphere is lit, and fans are crazy about the game. And we all know Caitlin is a straight shooter from the way she plays, shooting from deep, dropping those fancy no-look passes and breaking ankles. That's the type of style that would kill in Europe. The fans would eat it up like a giant toast bread. It's all about that finesse game, and Caitlin's got finesse flowing in her veins. She was born ready for this. And now the speculations are everywhere. The big news is all over the internet. CC may have just landed a whopping contract from Europe. Who on earth would say no to that? That's right, she's about to sign a fat contract to go play overseas, where they know how to treat a baller of her caliber. And now ESPN and the WNBA are feeling betrayed. Well, that's what you get from a player who's discovered her work. And let's not even talk about her final game. How in the world would you miss shots that even high school players could easily score? CC scored 29 points, dished out 10 assists, and pulled down 7 rebounds, but the officials still went filthy with some of her teammates while her squad was out there throwing bricks and blowing away opportunities. Caitlin was out there putting in all the effort. The WNBA should have been giving her the red carpet, but they made a huge mistake. Let's get things straight. Some people are taking sides and claiming that her success was more due to her appearance than her skills on the court. Alyssa Thomas even attempted to turn it into a race issue, but Caitlin quickly put an end to that, stating that her hustle period is what got her where she is. When asked in an interview what she thought of the remarks being made about racism, she gave the ideal response that any fan would appreciate. It's definitely upsetting, and no one in the league should be facing any sort of racial hurt, but she constantly thinks of uplifting the league in a positive.
Yeah, it's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments. And
She carried the WNBA on her own, and her jersey was outselling legends like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. Her games are a must-see on TV, and no one else in the league can attract that kind of attention and influence. So now that she's about to leave, the WNBA is out here looking lost and empty seats. You just can't ignore the record she broke, and you can't reduce her grind to some controversy. But that's exactly what the media tried to do instead of elevating her dusty uniforms, and a lot of what we do now have caused the league's viewing time to decline by an astounding 50% thus far. ESPN has suddenly woken up and is behaving as though they just realized they let their golden ticket slip away, but they had plenty of time to support her and market her as the superstar she is, but they continue to play it as though she were just another player. Although there is no denying that basketball is a physically demanding sport, Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, and the WNBA completely blew it. She was out there getting bodied like it was the UFC.
Thought it was physical. I don't know, obviously it wasn't like the best start in the first half for myself. Getting into foul trouble, and then you got to sit on the bench and try to come back into the game and get into a little bit of a...
When she first entered the league, the Indiana Fever would always struggle to draw games. Even with just 3,000 fans, there was no excitement or crazy drive for the game, and it felt more like a high school basketball game. However, since CC made her first appearance, attendance has skyrocketed up to 177,000 fans in each game, which is an increase of over 400%. The Indiana Fever rose to the top when it came to all-around attendance, but now she's moving on to a league where they will appreciate her skills.
Stays here with Indiana. Clark, a deep one. You bet! A Brooklyn logo bomb from Caitlin.
However, this is the crucial query. What are the implications of this move for Caitlin's future? Would Caitlin's move to Europe affect her legacy back home in the United States? We already know that she has the potential to become one of the greatest players in women's basketball history. Some even refer to her as one of the most exciting players in history. If she moves abroad, it won't harm her reputation. In fact, it would strengthen it. She wouldn't be the first. Legends like Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi have all done it. They traveled abroad, got the bag returned, and continued to rule the WNBA. Imagine Caitlin's face on billboards in Europe. With fans showcasing her jersey in places like Madrid and Paris, she could accomplish the same, if not better, and this move might make her an even bigger global star. To Caitlin, all we can say is that Europe is about to witness something special. In the WNBA, they have learned the hard way that if you don't value your stars, they'll find someone who will have luck catching that next big thing. However, here's a spoiler alert, you guys already missed this one. Clark's departure is not just a career move, it's a powerful statement on self-worth and respect in sports. All